Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, our lovely Equine family. Good to see you around. This is Town Hall number 47 on the 17th of March 2024. Apologies for the slight delay in starting this Town Hall. I'm joined by my lovely co host, Mark,
Hey everyone.
and the fence maker. Unfortunately, cannot join us in this one due to family commitment. But I will cover this part. As you can also notice, my voice is completely wrecked. I've unfortunately had about 5-6 days of non-stop coughing, and now that it's subsided, my throat is kind of trying to come back to life. So as usual, we'll give a few minutes for people to join. Some of you might notice we have a snazzy new poster featuring some very fancy renders of Yara Gardens and a bunch of nice looking horses. I always have to give the disclaimer or remind people to differentiate between renders and game engine graphics. As much as I'd like the game to look like this in real time, we're still a bit away from that. I mean, we have the assets, but without the devices, I'd say. Hi, Creator. Please bear with my voice this time. We have some nice news this town hall. Not mind-blowing nice, but still celebratory noise, news. Sorry, we actually I had a mini celebration of my own for this milestone we had, and we'll share this soon. So give it 2 more minutes. Hi Lam, hi Focusers Tables. Happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone celebrates that. It's my first town hall in this Ramadan, so along with my voice being away, I can't even drink water to remove that. But that will be solved in about 40 minutes from now. Okay, 1 more minute and we go. The alternative version of the story is that me losing my voice is a cover up for my incident last town hall when I suddenly lost my voice and threw Nick under the bus. And Nick not being in this town hall is the completion of that alternative story. But no, it's not the case. All right, so let's get down to business. So, as usual, we'll cover visuals and environment, some updates on the race schedule and game design. We have, most importantly, development updates, some marketing, and then AMA questions. I'll cover the development part for Nick as he couldn't make it this time. So, the bad news part comes in the visuals and environment part. While we're replacing the horse model animation, everything was kind of hunky dory and all in place. In Unity especially, we found out that when we exported them finally into the scene, there was an issue that was completely distorting the horses into almost comedy levels of visuals. Actually, this was it's one of my impulse, let's say, improvised sharing of things. But let me share what this looks like, so you guys get it. picture. So they looked something like this, which I don't think any of us want. So this only breaks at the last stage of the export, and we figured out why this is happening for the most part, but it needs a bit of redoing on some of the model exports and a bit of backtracking. So we're on that. Hopefully we get that fixed soon and we get that all patched up. So that's on the the visual side. After fixing this pipeline issue, we have a bit of improvements in the camera manager that's already in place, and we're fixing these bugs and adding features. A bit of a general description, but the main focus really is this animation fix, right? On the race schedule side and the game, let's say design, we're creating or revamping some icons for the website and also for the race system guide. So we're bringing a bit of icon graphics work. We realized this when we looked at some of the mock-ups that we had or placeholders are not really fit for release. So we're creating them just to be plugged into the race menus and stuff. And we're finalizing the feature races. So we're adding a few more, including the weather and track rating system. Right now, the most exciting part actually is the demo is actually going very well, and we managed to actually complete a race fully in the blockchain up to really receiving prizes, using our system, as in using our race scheduler, having a race in that schedule, entering horses from that race into that race, 4 horses, waiting until the time comes for it to start. The race happens, the results are out, the prize money goes out to the winners, and then the horses are claimed by their owners. And the whole cycle actually went. So this is a major milestone. I was actually celebrating yesterday when we managed to get that working well, because it's really huge. I will clarify, this is while we are skipping the 3D animation, while we're already working on that. But this is basically everything except for the 3D animation. So it is simulating the race and plopping out the results directly without watching the sequence itself. Sorry. So yeah, that's a great milestone we have. On the front end side, we've also already integrated the entering horses into the race. Let me share again something actually from, I didn't put on the presentation, but I just recall you could actually share, which is, here we go. So you can ignore the console part at the bottom and some of the placeholder graphics. But this is basically from the front end showing the race, and it shows the transaction. And like if you confirm and pay, it opens your wallet window, and this actually is functional. This is from our internal beta. It's working for entering horses. We still haven't implemented the claiming of horses. We haven't implemented the scratching of horses. So we'll do that soon, but it's working outside the front end. So we're very happy to share that. Oops. So we go back to broken screen share. Sorry. You go back to that. Yeah, let me share 2 more things actually before I stop sharing the screens. I also share some of the transactions on the testnet. So one of them, this one is the race result transaction on the testnet. So this is on the pre-prod. Let me zoom in a little bit. So this is on the pre-production version on testnet. And then doesn't really show much here. It's just a bunch of ADA transferred and some authorization token. And it shows some of the contracts and some datum, which is not human readable. But if you go to the metadata, this is the hash. And then here, is this shared? Does this show? Oh, sorry, my screen. Okay. So I'll go back to that. I share my screen, but didn't click the button. So this is the transaction. It's on pre-prod. And then you can see here, it's a basic one with just ADA. You can see some of the contract details, but it's all not human readable. It's how it should be. It's normal. But then if you go to the metadata section, let me see if this works. Yeah. So this is a SIP 86 update that happens after the rewards are out. So it shows the names of the horses that entered. It shows the racing point updates, the season highs, the all-time highs, career stats. And then it shows the updates for each one of them, how many racing points they got, their stat updates, and all of that. So this is a update going out with the race results, right? And then the other transaction is this one. And this is the rewards going out. So you can see this was a race with 10 horses with a 40 ADA entry fee, right? And you can see here, basically one address got 13 ADA. This is just a test amount, just to be clear. This is on the testnet. But this horse owner basically had one horse in and they got 13 ADA back. There's a 4 ADA operator cut that went to the to Equine basically. And then 9.45, 7.65, and 5. So all 4 here had prizes. Actually, this race was supposed to have payout for 5 horses. And when we got 4, the 5th one, 4 is the minimum for a race. So the 5th one gets distributed evenly between all the remaining ones. So this happened correctly. It worked well, and it went directly to the holders, right? So I just wanted to share this actually big progress from our side. It's a really big milestone. We've gotten ahead of most of our let's say challenges in that part of the integration. Last but not least, we've onboarded a new team member, Bruno. He's a full stack developer, along with Kayo. So Kayo is with us, and we realized that we're approaching a stage where we're gonna have more beta testing happening, including public stage. We're gonna have more bugs we expect to fix from the public reports, and we're gonna have also more features that we're gonna need to build in. So it's time to ramp up basically our team size. So we've already onboarded Bruno, and he's happy to join us here, and we're really happy to have him on board. On the blockchain side, we can execute transactions. There was an issue with Nami and Eternal. We've fixed those. We still have that warning on Nami. I'm not sure if it's completely fixed, but we've fixed our integration part at least. And then pagination and filtering is also hopefully fixed. We had some minor issues with pagination and with filtering, but we've fixed those. So the improvement in performance is also very obvious. We need to implement this on our front end side. So that's also for Kayo and Bruno to do in the next couple of weeks. Next up on the blockchain side, actually, we're implementing a bit of cleanup on the UTXOs, but that's about all we need to do on that side. Also testing some of the breeding stuff, but we want to finish the races first. All right, that was a long update from my side, but I think that's all, and we move on to marketing and St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, not really a lot to announce here, except the fact that, some of the things are potentially big in the background, but not shareable in details yet. But yes, the March Invitational, we have a start list. We'll show it on the next slide in a moment. The race is next Sunday. The usual. We'll go live and show the race, cheer for competitors, and crown the winners. We start working on the testnet launch campaign because, as we said many times, this is something that it's a big event that we want to start promoting when everything is in the right place and help us push and build the excitement. And once we launch, bring more eyes on everything. And then obviously it's a month of St. Patrick's. Not the whole month, but we have St. Patrick's Day here. So for all those who celebrate, all our Irish friends will definitely be celebrating that. So yeah, quite a few things in the background, but on the short term, we do have the 32 horses and jockeys ready to race. And yeah, looking forward to see how everyone will do.
I see a spot an Arabic name in there. Lisan al Ghaib. That's interesting. I wonder who submitted that. All right. Good luck to those participating. Okay. Before I jump into the MA, I'll just say the token discussion is not completely out, not completely finished yet either. We just wanted to make sure that everything is clean and covered. A few things got in the way of finishing those discussions, but no major obstacles I would say seen yet. Okay. Do you think it could be viable to run the April Underground Invitational as a simulated set of races in the testnet beta version? Or what would that redirect too much team resources down a side mission? It's a cool question, actually. We do have a priority without saying too much, but I guess we've been saying it for a while. We have a priority of pushing the invitationals to actual system races. So it's a nice idea. Let me take that up. I'll evaluate how much resources that takes. If it's doable, I guess, yeah, the challenge is, let me see if our simulator is, if basically our race engine would represent fairly that. But yeah, we'd need to basically mint identical horses on the testnet. We need to set up laps of or basically distances that are equivalent. We're not really doing 1, 2, 3 laps here. And just make sure that the balance is fair enough. But I guess anyway, Lovelace, Downs isn't really, let's say, I mean, people are used to the balance there, but I don't know how tested it is in that sense. So cool idea. I mean, if not April, we do aim to have it switched as soon as possible to our racing system as an underground invitation. I also want to keep Lovelace Downs live in some shape or form. I do hope to put it some way as a mini game in Equine or include it in some way as a tribute. But again, I just want to avoid making a side mission that takes up too much resources, as you rightly asked here. Good question. We'll take that up and see how soon we can bring this in. That's one.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's all. We didn't have many. I just checked as well. Let me quickly do one more.
I enjoyed going through the hyphens. Any questions from the audience? Kwano? Is any question? I mean, some of you guys who joined later, I think you might have missed the biggest update, which is that we have races fully working in our system. That's really, really good. Aside from the 3D scene, I mean, theoretically, we could just plop in the 3D scene with the current animations. I think it doesn't really look even good. But yeah, we could plop that in. Our 3D dev actually also went on a vacation this past week, and we'll be back in a couple of days. So we should be back also on track on that side. Good questions coming from the best audience. Beta testing by end of this month. I would say I'm fairly optimistic for allowing our mods to get to that testing. So closed beta testing. I don't know what I mean. I forgot the name I used for this earlier, but it's still like all that we have now is still in the dev environment. So even I can't access that system. I mean, I can, but I need to set up the dev environment. Having this in a platform that people can use, I'd actually invite first our moderators, etc. I think it's very, very, very realistic now to have it working without the 3D viewer by end of the month. Maybe we can hook up the 3D viewer by then, possible. Not highly likely, I'd say, unless we focus some time on that. But yeah, that is very likely. And if that works fairly smoothly, we can open that up. We also are now testing with a very basic schedule, all 1,200, basically 6 furlong races, all open, no conditions, nothing. So we also need to go and test that that works correctly. Make sure that it reads the criteria correctly, that it applies it, that it prevents the wrong horses from entering. We just want to make sure all of that stuff is working. So we haven't touched that. We simplify the schedule just to make sure everything works. But yeah, that's one of the next steps as well. So that's good. Eric is asking when racing guide. I understand it's taking so long for such a seemingly small project. It's probably the perfectionist in me. I apologize for that. We have a job post for a typesetter up. I'm not sure if we hired one yet. I'll check up with Rachel. But we have a typesetter basically to just put that in place. But we also done some very nice renders that are meant to be put there, but we'll also use them for a bunch of other places in the platform, including thumbnails and some other places, including the cover you guys might have seen. I'll share some others with you guys just so you see what I'm talking about. Oops. Sorry, I need to zoom this out. Stuff like this, and you can ignore the repetitive lizzies. We're gonna dress these up with some silks very quickly. We have this one, which we used in the cover. These are renders, not game engine screenshots. So these take minutes to tens of minutes to render each, probably maybe even hours, because of the lighting and all of that. And then this one. But we're not gonna shy away from using this in marketing collateral, in game guides, in game thumbnails and stuff like that. They're the same assets basically, and we've set up all of these rendering scenes so we can also upgrade these and improve them as we go forward. But yeah, any other AMA questions? Anything new come through Discord? Just to be sure before we close out. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, there's more elaboration on that question from DVNC. It's a good question. I'll go through it and I'll see if there's anything else that's helpful. Yeah, he's assuming all the horses are loaded on testnet. Yeah, actually we have randomized different horses, not the same horses. So even if they have the same number, it's not really the same. Anyhow, thank you so much, guys. We appreciate your audience. We look forward to sharing the next updates. I think the pace is increasing. I'm really happy to see this breakthrough. Please share with our other community members who you communicate with. If anybody's been on the sidelines, if you happen to come to discuss Equine, please do share these small successes that we've had, and big successes actually for these. And we can't wait to share more, hopefully by the end of the month town hall in our next one. And see you guys in the next weekend for the Underground Invitational.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. See you.